Hi everyone, if you like travelling in Europe, you must have heard by now about the infamous 90-180 day rule. But did you know there's a way you might be exempt? In today's video, we'll explain how the rules work for non-EU spouses travelling with or meeting up with their EU partners. I'll be using official guidance and real-world examples. Let's get started. Let's break this down in a question and answer format. Here's my friend Walter, who'll be asking the questions. Hello! He's actually cleverer than he looks. What? I'll be quoting official rules, examples from the European Commission's Practical Handbook for Border Guards, and giving you tips to make your travels stress-free. What is the 90-180 day rule and who does it apply to? So, the 90-180 day rule allows non-EU citizens to stay in any one of the 29 Schengen area countries for up to 90 days within any rolling 180-day period. It's a limit for short stays, primarily for tourists, business travellers or visitors. But here's the key. This rule doesn't apply in the same way if you're the non-EU spouse of an EU citizen and travelling with or to meet your partner. That's where special provisions for family members comes into play. Does the 90-180 day rule apply to non-EU spouses travelling with their EU partner? According to the European Commission, non-EU spouses travelling with or joining their EU partner are not bound by the 90-180 day rule. The Practical Handbook for Border Guards explicitly states that non-EU family members can stay in a Schengen country for up to 3 months without being subject to the 90-day limit in the wider Schengen zone. What happens if you stay in one Schengen country for more than 90 days? Good question. If you plan to stay in a single Schengen country for longer than 3 months, you should register as a resident under that country's immigration rules. But if you don't want to register, there is a workaround. Simply leave that country before reaching the 90-day mark. You don't have to leave the Schengen area, just travel to another country for a short stay, like a weekend getaway. Here's an example. Let's say you and your EU spouse spend 3 months in Spain. To avoid residency requirements, you can take a short trip to Portugal or France for at least one complete day. That's midnight to midnight before returning to Spain. So that really amounts to a 2-night stay. Keep your hotel receipts and travel tickets, restaurant bills, petrol receipts, etc. as evidence of your times and dates outside of Spain. Can you stay in Schengen indefinitely by moving between countries? Yes, you can. As long as you travel with your EU spouse, you can stay in the Schengen area beyond 90 days by moving between countries. For instance, you and your EU spouse spend 3 months in Germany. Then you spend 2 months in Italy, followed by 3 months in France. This adds up to 8 months in Schengen without breaking any rules. Just remember what I said before though. You can't stay in one country for more than 3 months at a time without registering as a resident. Although this does beg the question, if you're travelling by road, how does anyone know? There are no internal land borders. So, again, keep all of your receipts. It'll be up to you to prove where you've been if you're challenged. If it's a long trip and it's all on spreadsheets with receipts to back it up, all in the correct order, you'll make someone at border control very happy. And they'll probably be quite surprised too. Offer them a little cake as well. They like cake. What happens if the non-EU spouse travels alone? If the non-EU spouse travels alone without their EU partner, the 90-180 day rule does apply. This means your time in Schengen starts counting as a short stay and you'll need to leave once you reach the 90-day limit. For example, a Japanese citizen married to an Estonian travels alone to Austria for 15 days. The EU spouse joins them in Portugal for 1 month. When the EU spouse leaves, the Japanese citizen can remain in Schengen for 75 more days because the month with the spouse didn't count towards the 90-day limit. Only the 15 days when they were on their own. What documents do you need? To travel as a non-EU spouse of an EU citizen, you will need, number 1, a valid passport. Number 2, a Schengen visa if your nationality requires one. Have a look at the official Schengen website for the list of countries whose citizens aren't covered by a visa waiver. Number 3, proof of your relationship, such as a marriage certificate. If you already hold a residence card issued by a Schengen country, you probably won't need a visa at all. How will the new EES and ETIAS systems affect travelling? Good news, or is it? Starting soon, allegedly, the ETIAS visa waiver will allow non-EU spouses to link their EU family members' details to their application. This means smoother processing when crossing borders. At least that's the theory. However, until ETIAS is fully operational, the new EES system may flag overstays if you exceed 90 days, even if you're exempt due to your EU family connection. Be prepared to explain your situation or provide documentation if needed. Are there any loopholes? Well, the whole idea of EES and ETIAS is to make it more difficult for nasty people to bypass the laws. So, any loopholes should be closed up when the rules tighten. That being said, I'll be interested to see whether the system can handle the more ambiguous rules. For example, the one about travelling to meet your EU citizen spouse in a country they are a citizen of. You can get round that one by both of you heading to a different Schengen country to meet up for a weekend break, then travelling overland back to the citizen's country without crossing through border control. Also, the rules about how long your data is held by the EES say that if you're a family member accompanying an EU citizen and no exit from Schengen is recorded, your data is automatically erased after a certain length of time. That's according to the official EU Travel Europe website. Summary! So, as a non-EU spouse travelling with or to meet your EU partner, you can stay in Schengen for extended periods by moving between countries. But remember, always carry the right documents, track your stays and enjoy exploring Europe. I'd advise you also to get the best Schengen visa calculator to help you stay within the 90-180-day rule when you're not travelling with your EU spouse. If you found this video helpful and the oodles of links and information in the video description below, don't forget to like, subscribe and share it with others. Safe travels. Peace and love. Bye.